Welcome to our channel. Ever dreamt of starting fresh in a new country, but wondered what it's really like to build a life or even find love thousands of miles from home? For solo women, moving abroad can be thrilling, but it's not all sunsets and street cafes. Today we're diving deep into the world of solo female expats abroad, women who took the leap, faced the unknown, and discovered not only new cultures, but new versions of themselves. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on our upcoming videos on expat travel, romance across borders, and delicious international cuisine. So let's explore stories of solo female expats, their stories of courage, connection, and transformation. Solo female expats finding love and thriving abroad. Real stories of reinvention and freedom. So let's discuss the bold leap. Why go solo? We'll begin with Rachel's digital nomad detour from the USA to Thailand. When Rachel moved to Chiang Mai, she wasn't chasing romance, she was chasing Wi-Fi and warmer weather. Meet Rachel from Colorado. She came to Thailand to work remotely as a copywriter. She figured she'd spend 6 months there and maybe hop to Bali afterwards. But then life happened. She joined a co-working space, met this hilarious French web developer named Louise, and they bonded over the fact that both of their laptops were always overheating. She said he'd bring her mango sticky rice whenever she was too deep in deadlines, and they'd talk about everything, travel, purpose, and what it means to feel at home. A year later, they rented a little apartment together overlooking the mountains. It wasn't part of her plan, but she realized sometimes the best stories start when you stop trying to write them. So, what makes someone leave everything behind? For many solo female expats, it's more than wanderlust. It's about reinvention. A chance to step out of old routines, to chase opportunity, or to finally meet the version of themselves they've always imagined. Some seek new careers. Others crave freedom. And some are just tired of living on autopilot. They're breaking stereotypes, too. These women aren't running away from their lives, they're running toward something bigger. She thought she was escaping her life, but really she was starting it. But let's be real, it's not all Instagram moments. Those first few months can be a roller coaster. The adrenaline fades, the culture shock hits, and you realize you're truly on your own. And that's exactly where the transformation begins. Reinvention starts where comfort ends. Navigating the new, building your expat life. Now let's talk about Claire's second act in Italy. She relocated there from Canada. Meet Claire from Toronto. After she divorced at 42, she felt like her world had collapsed. Her kids were grown, her career felt empty, and she just needed a reset. She always loved Italy, so she took a deep breath, rented a small flat in Florence, and told herself she'd stay for 6 months. She spent her days learning Italian, painting in the park, and rebuilding her confidence one espresso at a time. Then she met Marco. He owned the cafe near her apartment. At first, she thought he was just being polite, but over time, he became her anchor there. 2 years later, she built a new life she never imagined possible. Friends, a small art business, and yes, love again. Moving abroad didn't just give her a new home. It gave her back herself. Once the dust settles, real life begins. You'll have to deal with challenges such as visas, apartments, currency exchanges, grocery store confusion. But every day is a new lesson in independence. Every solo female expat quickly learns Google Maps can help you find your way, but kindness from strangers helps you feel at home. Beyond the guidebooks, there's a magic in discovering your local spots. The cafe where the barista knows your name, the park where you journal every morning, the friend who becomes family. Building your support system is key. Fellow expats who understand and locals who welcome you in. That's how a strange city slowly becomes home. And then there's Sophie, her surprise move to Colombia from Australia. Meet Sophie from Melbourne. She moved to Medellin after falling in love with Latin music and wanting to learn Spanish, but everyone back home thought she was crazy. She didn't know a soul when she arrived. The first few weeks were chaotic. Lost luggage, language mix-ups, getting hopelessly turned around on the metro. But she kept showing up to dance classes, language exchanges, and little cafes where no one spoke English. That's where she met Andres, a local musician. They bonded over music and her terrible Spanish. He taught her how to dance salsa, and she taught him how to make pancakes. 3 years later, they run a small music school together, and every time she hears the rhythm of the city, she remembers how scary it felt at first, and how worth it was to stay. Home isn't a place, it's a feeling. Signing rental papers, exploring markets, cooking local food, and romance. Redefined dating abroad. Now let's talk about love. Dating abroad is an adventure of its own. Each culture has its rhythm. Some are bold, some are subtle, and sometimes you need Google Translate just to figure out if it's a date. Dating apps can open doors to curiosity, connection, and maybe something real. You'll meet travelers, locals, and people who see you not as a foreigner, but as the woman who chose their country for a new chapter. Many women say they didn't move abroad to find love, but love found them once they stopped searching. It wasn't about meeting someone, it was about becoming someone ready to be met. Love finds you when you find yourself. Challenges and triumphs, the unvarnished truth. Of course, the journey isn't all love stories and reinvention. Loneliness hits, sometimes hard. Homesickness creeps in when you least expect it. You'll miss birthdays, inside jokes, and the comfort of familiarity. But that's the unfiltered truth of expat life. Growth often hides in discomfort. Safety and independence are constant companions. You learn to trust your intuition, set boundaries, and carry confidence like armor. And that's the most liberating feeling in the world. And those small victories, navigating a new system, fixing something on your own, finding peace in solitude, those become your proudest milestones. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in courage. The empowered expat, looking back and moving forward. When you ask a solo female expat what changed the most, she'll often pause, then smile. Because it's not just her address that changed. It's her mindset, her confidence, her sense of possibility. Living abroad rewires how you see yourself and the world. You realize that home isn't one place, it's wherever you grow, connect, and belong. You might go back someday, or maybe you'll keep exploring forever. But either way, you'll never be the same woman who first stepped off that plane. Once you've built a life on your own terms, the world no longer feels foreign, it feels yours. If this video inspired you, hit that like button. Share this video with your friends who may be considering making a move abroad. Tell us in the comments, where in the world would you start over? Subscribe for more expat stories and global living inspiration. If you like this video, you will love our videos on 10 safest countries for women traveling solo and how to reignite passion in your relationship and keep it. Here's to looking at love, a better quality of life, and your journey to happiness. See you in the next video.